The visit of King Charles III to Canada on May 27, 2025, marked a significant moment in the nation's history. Accompanied by Queen Camilla, this was his first journey to the Commonwealth realm as its head of state. The primary purpose of this historic trip was for the King to deliver the speech from the throne in Ottawa, thereby officially opening a new session of Canada's Parliament. The air was thick with anticipation as Canadians watched this rare event unfold, understanding the deep symbolism it carried. The ceremonial aspects were meticulously observed, with the royal couple arriving in a traditional horse-drawn landau, adding a touch of regal splendor to the important parliamentary proceedings that were about to commence before the nation. It is indeed a rare occurrence for a British monarch to personally deliver the opening speech to Canada's Parliament. This momentous occasion was only the third such instance in the country's history. Queen Elizabeth II, King Charles's mother, had previously undertaken this duty twice, first in 1957 and then again in 1977. Each of these royal addresses occurred at pivotal times for Canada, and King Charles's speech continued this tradition, arriving at a juncture where discussions about national identity and sovereignty were particularly prominent. The historical weight of these past events was palpable, lending an extra layer of significance to the King's words and presence on Canadian soil, reminding everyone of the enduring yet evolving constitutional ties. The atmosphere in Ottawa was one of respectful formality, tinged with an undercurrent of political attentiveness. Notably, King Charles III chose to wear a suit and tie for the occasion, forgoing the more traditional robes often associated with such ceremonial duties. This sartorial choice was perhaps a subtle nod to a more modern approach to the monarchy's role. Among the distinguished guests present in the parliamentary chamber were former Prime Ministers Justin Trudeau and Stephen Harper, their attendance underscoring the cross-partisan importance of the event for the Canadian political landscape. Their presence highlighted a unified front, at least in acknowledging the constitutional procedures and the significance of the royal address. The speech from the throne itself is a cornerstone of Canadian parliamentary democracy. It is a critical procedural step, as neither Canada's House of Commons nor the Senate can conduct any public business before it is delivered. The speech, customarily written by the Prime Minister's office, outlines the government's agenda and priorities for the upcoming parliamentary session. King Charles's delivery of this speech, therefore, was not merely symbolic. It was an integral part of Canada's governance, initiating the legislative process and setting the tone for the political discourse that would follow in the months and years ahead under the new government led by Prime Minister Mark Carney.